Hey guys, welcome to the episode. James Lawson here. So listen, this week we're going to talk about lead magnets. Yes, some people love them, some people hate them. There's any number of people out there that are going to rag on the effectiveness of a lead magnet. I'm here to tell you BS, right? Lead magnets are by far the most efficient and fastest way to grow your email list. And let's face it, your email list is like the number one asset in your business. You own it. Facebook doesn't own it. Nobody owns it except you. So let's talk about lead magnets, what they need to look like, who they're going to be for, and the best way for you to get them into the marketplace so you can start building your list. All right, you ready? Okay, let's go. Hey guys, so listen, let's talk about what a lead magnet is. Simply put, lead magnet is something of value, right? Something that you're going to offer to potential clients, customers, in exchange for their contact information, which is normally going to be the email address. This is going to be your number one way of following up with people who are showing an interest. Now, lead magnets can take a lot of different forms: ebooks, white papers, webinars, templates, checklists, and a lot more. The key in all of this is that the magnet has to provide value to a potential customer that helps them solve a problem or achieve a goal. This is generally where it can become a really big challenge, right? For a lot of you. We see lead magnets out there because I'm massive. I always download people's lead magnets just to really see exactly what they're doing. But this thing, and probably one of the biggest things that you have to consider, is this has to be easy to consume, right? It has to be easy for someone not just to get their hands on, but easy for me to read, easy for me to digest, easy for me to take action on. And if it isn't any of these things, then it's not going to work, right? It's not going to work. So why are they so important? Well, as I said at the beginning, they're going to help you build your email list, right? And this email list is going to give you that direct line of communication with your potential customers, right? They've already expressed an interest in something they have in your brand. And this is going to allow you to then kind of nurture those leads over time and ultimately, hopefully, maybe, right, convert them into a paying customer. But it isn't just about growing your list, guys. Lead magnets also help you establish authority and expertise in whatever industry it is that you happen to be working in right now. So providing valuable content for free, right? Always good, right? You're showing your audience that you're knowledgeable, you're trustworthy, which is going to go a long way in building the brand loyalty and attracting the new customers that you want. So what makes a good lead magnet? Right, this is one of the things that a lot of our clients, when they come to us, struggle with. It's like, what is it that I need to build? So first and foremost, right, it really does need to provide value. It's got to provide value. If it's not providing value to potential customer, then the thing's absolutely useless. It needs to help them solve a problem, achieve a goal, right, related to the niche. It also needs to be specific and targeted for your ideal customer. So, for example, let's assume that you are in the fitness industry, right? And you've got a fitness blog. A lead magnet offering 10 types or 10 tips for a healthier lifestyle might be a little broad. What I would ask you to consider is offering a more specific resource, say the ultimate guide to building muscle for women over 40 or men over 40, right? I'm way over 40, I'm telling you. Building muscle is hard. But that's a very specific thing for a very specific group of people. The other thing to consider, as I said, is this ability to consume it very, very easily. People are busy, right? They don't want to spend hours reading a lengthy ebook or watching 90-minute webinars. But something that you can create that they can consume and see anything from like 3 minutes to 15 minutes or less. Like, one of the reasons that we try and keep the podcast that we do down to less than 15 minutes is to make it easy to consume, right? I don't want to listen to a podcast that's an hour long. I really don't. And, even though there are some great people doing some really cool stuff from a value standpoint, I don't know that I've got an hour to sit back and watch or listen to a podcast. But if it's 10 or 15 minutes and it's giving me tips and tricks and things that I can actually action, I'm probably going to sit and listen to that if it's something that suits my market. So I want you to really think about that. If it's going to take someone an hour to read, then they're probably not going to read it. Now, I am going to tell you that in terms of a lead magnet, something that is a document, many of the people that download it, guys, aren't going to read it anyway, right? But at least we've got their email. At least we've got something that we can now nurture and follow up with. But don't be hurt if you get into it and they go, yeah, I downloaded it, James, but I haven't had a chance to read it. That's going to be the majority, unfortunately. That's just the world that we live in. But so long as you are offering something that is valuable, that's going to be a resource for them, trust me, they're going to be all over you trying to get it. So, what do we spoke about? It's going to be easy to consume, right? 3 to 15 minutes in terms of timeline. It's got to be directed at a very specific niche. It's got to solve a very specific problem for a very specific group of people. The last thing I'm going to tell you is you need to make it visually appealing and professionally designed. Now, this doesn't mean that I'm saying go spend $300 on a graphic designer to build a lead magnet. All right, you can do some really cool things and say like Canva, right? Canva can help you develop and graphically design some really cool stuff. It does, however, need to look professional. If it's poorly designed, I can tell it's probably going to hurt your brand. It's going to make you look a little less credible, right? So I would invest the time and the resource to make it look really good. All that aside, right, let's talk a little bit how we actually get it to supercharge your list growth, because that's why we're doing this. The whole point of your lead magnet is to build this list. So a couple of things you want to know about building a list before we actually talk about how to do it. First thing is this: building a list is going to take a lot longer than you want it to. It's just how it is. It doesn't mean we don't do it, right? It doesn't mean that it's not important, but just understand from the get-go that building your list is going to take longer than you want it to take, guys. It's just how it is. That being said, there are ways that we can speed this up. There are ways that we can, make this happen a lot faster, right? So, number one, promote your lead magnet everywhere. So often I see a lead magnet and the only place it sits is on somebody's website. It's on the page, right? Now that's a good place for it to be, right? We want to find some of that organic hits to the website, picking up your lead magnet, giving you that email, right? That's all good, but it can't just sit there. So we want to promote the lead magnet not just through your website, but through your social media channels. Right? Make sure it's really prominently displayed on the homepage. Create social media posts that drive traffic to a landing page. The other thing you can do, and this kind of goes against everything that I teach, right? Because we're all about organic. But there are times where spending a little bit of money actually makes sense. So running maybe a paid ad to promote your lead magnet to a much wider audience, right? If you want to go into and run some Facebook ads to a very targeted audience, but maybe a wider audience, then there's value in you doing that in order to grow your list. What I will say is this: big difference between running a Facebook paid ad and running Facebook lead ads. And if you're not familiar with the difference of those two, I would suggest that you go check it out. Lead ads, you can grow your list pretty cheaply, but the quality of the leads aren't going to be that good. I've done it some years ago. and it wasn't good, right? So you want to think a little bit about that. But you know what? Going out and spending like, $5 a day for a month might be worth it to get your list, to get your list kind of supercharged and start to build some traction. So website, social media channels, make sure it's displayed everywhere. Maybe run some paid ads to it if that's your gig. Third thing is pop-ups, right? Have a pop-up on your website and exit intent overlays, right? So what do we mean by that? Well, you've probably seen this. When someone is you go to your website and you go to leave, boom, there's a pop-up that happens. You want to have one of those. You'll be surprised and amazed and surprised how many people will actually take your lead magnet from an exit pop-up. Right? They're getting ready to bomb out. Suddenly this thing appears. It's like, oh, that looks kind of cool. And they will then go and give you their email to get that. So that's kind of cool. So when you think about where do I promote my lead magnet, the answer is you're going to promote it everywhere, because that's the only way that you're going to get any significant traction in doing this, right? And getting that out there so that as many people as humanly possible are going to grab it. So here's what I want you to take away from this little podcast, guys. Lead magnets are important. Don't discount them. Again, a lot of people out there poo-pooing them. They just work. And you do need them. You absolutely need them if you are growing your list. I'm a huge believer in growing the list. It's the only thing that you own. It's probably the most important asset that you have in your whole business. And, it just allows us to nurture people over time. So get the lead magnet built, make it look professional, make sure it's targeting a problem for a very specific group of people. Now, can you have multiple lead magnets? Yeah, right? There might be multiple problems in your marketplace that you can solve. So having multiple lead magnets that attack a different problem is going to help you segment that marketplace as well. Not everybody has the same hot button. Not everyone is going through exactly the same thing at the same time. So if you have 3 or 4 lead magnets that you want to promote, then do it, right? Each one dealing with a certain problem, specific problem in the market that you're in. So that's okay. One of the last things I would tell you about this whole list building thing is this. List building shouldn't be on your mind 24 hours a day, but it should be running 24 hours a day. So we want to make sure that we have enough places that our lead magnet sits and is getting exposed to our potential prospects, so that this kind of just happens on automations. It's all happening in the background. What I will say is this, though. You might want to think about maybe once every 90 days spending 1 week, and that whole week is just list building, right? That's what you're doing. You're highly focused, like one day, like every 90 days, take 1 day, or even take a week, right? 1 week every 12 weeks isn't a lot, but dedicate that to just building your list. Full-throated attack, out there, pushing it out. Other than that, it's in the background. It's on your email signature. It's on every piece of content you put out. Hey, if you want more help, go grab I wouldn't call it a lead magnet, right? Go grab my free resource on this X, Y, or Z thing, right, that you've got a problem with. But it sits in the background. So don't get overly consumed by it, but understand that it is important and that this is something that, honestly, guys, you need to do. But that's how you do it, right? I'm telling you, we do it. It's very successful. So don't listen to the naysayers, right? Develop a good lead magnet, get it out there, grow your list. Trust me, it's going to help you drive your business. So that's it. So listen, guys, Thanks so much. I said less than 15 minutes. I think I'm at 14 minutes and 57, 58, 59. 15 minutes. I am signing off. And thanks for listening. Any questions, let me know and we will help you where we can. All right. Thanks so much, guys, and have a great day.